Hi, my name is Taha and this is my cancer story part 4. So in the last video, I shared the reality about the battle that I had to fight when I got diagnosed for the second time. And the surgery, the losses, the sheer brokenness, I talked about it all. But honestly, the fight for me didn't end when I left the hospital. So for most cancer survivors, the actual deepest battles, they start after the physical treatment, and these are the battles that leave no visible scars, but they cut just as deep. So this video is about to be those unseen fights that are fought. Now you might think that recovery just means healing from surgery, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many other things that no one really talks about. What about the constant fatigue, the fog in your brain, the shifts in your very identity, the physical scars, the depression, mood swings, etc. This is the side of cancer that nobody really prepares you for. Neither my doctors did, my family and everyone, no one had any experience with it. So I had no idea what to do, even though I had already gone through it once. But when it happened the first time, I had a very immature mindset, I think. And now, with the removal of both my testes, first one, then the other, my body's natural testosterone production really plummeted. This wasn't just a number on a blood test. It hit me really hard, and the fatigue was overwhelming. Energy levels uh, constantly were low. I felt constant muscle weakness, and I found it incredibly hard to, maintain the physique that I once had. Beyond the physical, there were severe mood swings, intense bout of depression, and a general lack of vitality that pervaded everything. And honestly, I already knew that after my second orchiectomy, my testosterone would go down significantly. So I had already prepared myself mentally, kind of. So hearing that I could, get testosterone therapy soon after the surgery made me feel a bit of relief. I think it was both a mix of relief and a new kind of dread. Then began the journey of TRT. And honestly, many would think that it's a magic bullet. It's not. It's a constant management game. Initially, I was taking one injection every 4 weeks, but I was still feeling like shit, low energy, fatigue, loss of strength in muscle. Then, after 3 months, I met with my doctor again in Karachi, and he suggested that I start taking one injection every 3 weeks. By this point, I had already started developing gynecomastia, which is basically the enlargement of breast tissue in men. So I told the doctor that I'm developing gynecomastia, and I also told him about my constant weight gain. To which he replied, "Well, you just need to eat less, move more, and this will go away." And I was like, mind fucking blown. How the fuck I did not think about this? Of course, I didn't say this to him, but I told him that this is what I do as a fitness professional. I know how my body is reacting to this, and it's not normal. And I told him that I know this probably better than him because this is my bread and butter, perhaps. But he didn't budge at all. And my consults with him left me pretty disappointed by the end. And I think the major reason why I was feeling so disappointed was because I did not just want to live a very life. I wanted to do better and I wanted to feel good. I wanted to look good. Okay, sure, for some people, surviving cancer twice would just mean that they're given a third chance at life and they're expected to just accept whatever is being given to them or whatever outcome. But for me, it wasn't like that. I wanted to keep doing what I was doing, pursue my fitness goals, feel good, look even better when naked, and of course, maintain the physique that I had built working so hard over the years. So, of course, naturally, I was just not going to accept you'll have to deal with it and you can't do much about your physique. Be grateful and just live with it because Allah ne tumhe dobara zindagi di hai. God has given you life again. Sure, He's given me this chance for a reason, but I'm not just going to listen to stupid fuck like you who are not going to listen to what I want, but tell me what they think I should be doing, which is ridiculous, honestly. So I started researching for doctors online, and the best ones were in Europe, which I didn't have immediate access to. I think the fastest place I could get to was Southeast Asia, and for me, which was Malaysia and Singapore. So there's a friend of mine who lives in Malaysia, and when I told him about my whole struggle with TRT and finding a good endocrinologist in Pakistan, he said, "Come to Malaysia then, and you can come and stay with me." So I made the necessary arrangements and I went to see him. So off to Malaysia I went. I consulted a doctor over there. He saw all the reports, listened to what I had to say, and explained to me what was happening really without any judgment, unlike the doctors in Pakistan, and gave me a roadmap and explained how it would get better in a year or two. Now, I was freaking out because I thought that it would only take a couple of months. So now I take one injection every 2 weeks. There are still some issues that I'm facing, so I think it's time to go see my doctor again. The last I saw him was in October last year, so which was almost 9 months ago. So this TRT is also a lifelong commitment that comes with its own, set of challenges and side effects. Sure, it's good for my vitality and my well-being, but the side effects are also like kind of a lot. I'm losing my hair mass. I'm developing gynecomastia. Managing it is like a whole game plan. Um, Sometimes it's just like too much. Sometimes I just don't want to do anything. So I've been injecting testosterone myself for a while, but lately I just feel like it's too much, so I go and get it done. And when I think about the whole last year and now, it just makes me sad. And honestly, it's not even just sadness. It's a pervasive sense of hopelessness, lack of motivation. And I don't want to say this on the video, but sometimes suicidal ideation at times. Though of course I don't act on it, so please don't. I don't act on it. I was reading this research which said that people who were deficient in testosterone were more likely to commit suicide. So thankfully, I'm good because I'm taking care of this. There's also this, anxiety of recurrence and living with uncertainty. It impacts daily life, like my work, my relationships, and sometimes I have these lingering thoughts, like what am I doing? Like what am I really doing with life? Life is just so short, so who knows how long I'm here for? Should I just settle in and not pursue my goals anymore and my ambitions? I'm single for so long. Should I just get married and settle down? What if I can't find a partner who's open to not having kids? These questions constantly swirl and linger over my head, and they just add layers to the doubts, to every decision, every aspiration for future. It's like your brain is wading through thick mud. Now there's difficulty concentrating, memory lapses, just feeling off overall most of the time, if not all the time. So for someone who really relies on sharp focus for coaching a business, this is just fucking infuriating. I don't want to do this sometimes. I'm kidding. I'm don't. But yeah, this is quite sad. Now I've lost so much over the years. All these losses added layers to the mental health battle. It's not just the cancer anymore. It's everything that cancer touched and broke. And I think losing my mother to cancer was and is still the biggest hit. And there's this constant survivor's guilt. Interesting how I keep coming back to this again and again and again. Anyway, now let's talk about body image and the stuff that I've worked really hard on, only to come back to the same place to work on it again. My body, once a symbol of peak fitness, now carries the physical scars of my battles. I have these massive surgical marks on my lower abdomen. One from the initial surgery back in 2017. And now after 2024, which is last year, I have 3 marks in total. 2 from the left and right bilateral orchiectomies, and 1 where they put the SPC on. SPC is the suprapubic catheter, which I had to live with for a month. That was also a nightmare. Anyway, these aren't just marks, okay? They're constant reminders of what my body has endured, and honestly, also a source of significant body image issues now. It's hard to look in the mirror sometimes, but honestly, that's rare. I'll be very honest. Majority of the time when I look myself in the mirror naked, I often find myself admiring my body, how far it's come and how much it's endured. I may not have the abs anymore, or the same muscle mass or strength I once used to have, but I just freaking love my body as a whole now. It's been through hell and back, but even then, sometimes the thought that after dedicating years to perfecting my physique, to have my own body turn on me and then be so visibly altered, it sends your body image down the gutter. It takes a lot of courage to constantly pull yourself out of the shithole. It's not easy, I'll be very honest. But I've learned my patterns and I know when I'm falling again. So I tell myself to slow down and acknowledge what I've been through, what's happened, the journey I'm on, and what all I've endured, and appreciate my body and the life and be grateful. Okay, now I'm going to talk about something that's like incredibly personal and a deeply vulnerable topic, but something that's like very authentic. And um, when I was going through it initially last year, I couldn't find a lot of resources. So I think that it's important to discuss this so that if there's anyone who's listening to or watching this video right now, um, they'll feel supported in some way. This is often the stuff that gets left out of the survivor's narrative. So poor vitality, erectile dysfunction, and fertility. The reason why I want to talk about it is because it's a huge blow to your confidence, your masculinity, and your overall sense of self. This obviously spills into your relationship. There's a constant underlying fear. Would any partner truly ever want to be with me or love me? Knowing my history, knowing that I don't have testes, then the potential implications of it, hair loss, mood swings, depression, muscle weakness. Sometimes you just want to, be a couch potato. You don't want to do anything. Would there anyone be willing to be with you knowing all of this? The fear of rejection based on these unspoken realities, it's just so massive. I wish there were more resources, and I wish there were more people talking about this. Maybe there are. I have just not come across any of those resources yet. So maybe this is me starting those conversations. And then there's this incredibly sensitive topic of fertility, the chances of becoming a father, which unfortunately for me doesn't exist anymore. I can't become a father, and unless, of course, I end up adopting a kid. Now, this is a massive challenge in our society, where many women envision motherhood as a core part of their life, and they're taught this from early childhood. This adds another layer of anxiety and uncertainty to building a future that often doesn't look like the traditional path, but one I'm still determined to navigate with an open heart and mind. Um, I don't know if I'll find someone like that in Pakistan. Maybe I'll have to move somewhere else where there is a better likelihood of, finding a like-minded partner. I don't know. We'll see. It's because I've been on 2 dates in the past year, and these two people, they all knew my history, and so naturally they got curious and they asked me if I could become a father. One of them literally got up and left, and I told her that I can't. So yeah, it's going to be a struggle. We'll see. Anyway, let's talk about what does recovery even mean for someone like me. I know for a fact that it's not a finish line anymore. That I've learned for sure. It's an ongoing journey of managing these invisible fights, every single day. It's about continuous self-care, seeking therapy, diligent medication management, and constant advocating for your own health, and also having good friends who you can talk to about this stuff with. And a lot of people won't really talk about this, but it's just so important to recognize that these invisible scars are just as real and often more draining than the physical ones. Now, despite all of these relentless battles, the hormonal chaos, the mental health struggles, the body image issues, the relationship anxieties, I'm still here though. I'm still fighting. I'm still committed in building the life I want, still inspiring. And I think this is one thing that cancer or any other disease or any event or any illness or loss, perhaps, in this life can't take away from me. And that's my resilience and my ambitions. Like I said in my previous video, I'm here to do more, to build more, to make crazy impact, to touch millions of lives, and I'm not going so soon. This video, I think, is going to be the longest, I feel, and whatever I have talked about was fucking rough. I hope if you're watching till now, you would definitely leave a comment for me, like how it made you feel. Sure, I'm smiling, I'm laughing. It's because I've come so far, and I've healed so much, especially mentally and emotionally, that for me this is just, another obstacle, another life path that life had decided for me, and I had to walk on it. Yeah. Anyway, so in the next video we'll shift gears slightly and we'll talk about, we'll move away from such hardcore, rough, emotional, mental, and physical stuff. And I'm going to talk about how even amidst all of these struggles, I'm redefining what success really means. And we'll talk about the comeback of Catalyst, which is my startup that I was working on last year, which I had to step away from momentarily. Momentarily, sure, it's been a year now. The launch of Project FOMO, which is a pilot program that we launched under Catalyst, and which is an online community coaching program that me and my business partner are doing. We're both nutritionists, and we both run this together. And we'll talk about how I'm continuing to build a life of purpose, and it's intentional, it's rewarding, and it's me. Thank you so much for watching this far. If this raw journey, resonated, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And I would like to know what's an invisible battle that you have fought that others might not really understand. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you for watching the part 4 of This Is My Cancer Story. I'm Taha Ahmed, and I'll see you tomorrow.